Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tier 2 of ARC. We are in round 7, I believe, Germany, Hockenheim. It's going to be a very interesting race for sure. I'm Van Beach, joined by co-commentator W. Gore.
That is me, yes sir. So definitely in for an interesting race. Of course, our championship leader, Terry, is there, but we've also got, if we look away from first position as the lobby's about to start, we do have some interesting battles, that being Chipsy, Sahil, and Wizard. I would say Sahil flat out has probably the most pace in general, but he is not the most consistent, whereas Chipsy has, pretty close to his pace on most tracks, not so much in qualifying, but definitely in the race, and is just so consistent. He's been on the podium, I think, all but one race, correct?
Yeah. Chipsy is very consistent. He did get very unlucky last week in France.
Yeah, it was looking like he could have taken a win there, so, you know, stuff happens, it's racing, but yeah, so hopefully, maybe, you know, you never know. That's what we were saying the other day, is that it probably wouldn't happen today, but it'll happen someday, so maybe it will happen today, who knows.
Yep, and Wizard obviously coming off from a strong second place from last week, so we'll see how he does as well.
Absolutely, yeah, he seems consistent with where his pace is, but not so consistent with his racecraft. But of course, he's new and definitely been, you know, looking past Bahrain, he's had some phenomenal races. Clearly a very talented driver.
Yep, and here we are, full grid today. Looks like it's a dry session.
And of course, sorry too, I forgot to mention, only use my dad, who was actually, Van, I don't know if you remember, but he was gaining on Terry for like 6 laps and then made a mistake and wasn't able to catch back up. But yeah, so, you know, he's clearly upped his game to match that of Terry's, and so hopefully we see that in full force today.
Yep, Dad has been very impressive this season for sure as well. And weather update, only thing we can give right now that it's a dry session at the moment.
And so no clouds, so I think it's fair to say it won't rain in this qualifying session, but God only knows in the race, Codemasters.
And first one out is going to be Sahil, who...
And then only use my dad as well.
Yeah, if you were here last season, Sahil caused actually one of the more crazier incidents last season in Turn 1 of Germany. He crashed into the back of Kublai, I believe.
Into the side, yeah, briefly, and then it was the back of Kublai because he was spun around into the wall and then back onto the middle of the track, taking out another driver and causing another major damage.
So he'll be hoping not to make the same mistake. And looks like the tire strategy is going to be hard to mediums. We shouldn't see anyone go on softs unless they're planning for a 2-stopper, obviously, or maybe a ambitious soft to hard, but I don't think...
Yeah, so I was just briefly in there speaking with most of the Tier 2 drivers, giving them the lowdown on what I would consider the best strategy, and then obviously their feedback. But I do think that that going for a medium-hard strategy... Oh, as Kia into the wall at full speed there, about to start his lap in the 3rd sector, straight into the wall. That's at least a red wing there as he stays on the grass and off to the side, but I think... as is what goes for pretty much every hard medium track, or, you know, any one-stop track that you're going to need to utilize the mediums on, is to qualify on that harder tire and give it your best shot. So qualify on the medium here, or so not the hardest, but the harder. And so qualify on that medium, see where you are. If you're outside the top 10 on the grid, start off with a hard, so you can, you know, not split the strategy, but, you know, whatever the word is, I can't think of it, but do the opposite of the normal, gives you more flexibility for the safety car, and in turn, yeah, it just gives you more options in the race.
Look at Turn 1, we have a couple of dots just chilling there. That's going to be Ferrari, if I can see, that's Captain, and oh my god, Sword comes right into him. Wow, that's very good timing right there.
Wow, as another driver goes past too.
5-second grid place penalty, that is not fair at all. He's definitely going to be...
Oh, wow!
Oh my god, what's going on?
Sorry, I thought he was about to come back on the track. I apologize for
the... Yeah, he looked like that too. And we have another slow driver. It's going to be MLG God and not Sandro.
And there's, as 31 Sword goes back on the track, still can't manage to get it going. He is still swimming in the gravel there.
Is this foreshadowing what's going to happen this race with Turn 1?
Hopefully not.
Because, I mean, we've already had a bajillion incidents, and Dad picks up the first hot lap of the night 14.5 on the hards. Still actually invalidated.
Hey, quickly, Van, Righteous just messaged me saying, turn me down and turn the game up.
Okay, let's see if I can fix that.
Or sorry, master volume is what he said, so yeah, both. So yeah, just basically turn me down, turn the others up a bit. And we've got Uwe, 7 seconds off, only used my dad's time, so not a great lap from him, but...
Let me know if this is better, guys.
Yep, I'm sure Righteous will message. He's typing right now. As Pfeiffer sets the fastest lap on softs with a 1:13.4, no way he'll be able to beat that on medium. So I think that's he's locked into the two-stop strategy here.
Yep, and it's good. Something to notice. Tack, I believe, is the race engineer for the Ferrari team. So I wonder what the plan is there.
Yeah, and as we've got another one of the Williams off to the side, getting out of the way there, that's going to be critical on the grass. Hopefully,
Swords on the grass as well.
Yeah, so
a lot of people like going off track right now. This is enough for people to go by. I mean, Sandro right now, he's at the hairpin, going very slow.
Okay, Righteous just said Gore is better for sure. Still need game and game up slightly, so I'm going to take that as the game needs to be up a bit.
Go in the actual audio settings, maybe.
Yep, no worries. As Kia invalidates turn 1, and Van and game. So yeah, you need to go up a bit with the game.
Jesus. Okay. Maybe I'll come a little closer here. Okay. Turn this up by 1 dB. Hopefully, I'm sorry guys, hopefully this is better. Zen Fox picks up the fastest lap right now, 13.2 on the medium, so he's going at the same pace as Pfeiffer will want to improve.
And quickly just got a message from Sandro saying, not sure why it's showing up as Sandro's name, but it is BMW racing with us this evening.
Okay, yeah, that happened last week as well, remember?
Yeah, for me it's showing BMW, but for the stream it's showing Sandro.
Yeah, I'll have to keep that in mind. Oh, and as
he goes into the wall, yeah.
Yeah, I honestly feel like this is going to be the most crazy race with how many people are going off track and crashing right now. And speaking of, let's see, more yellow flags appearing. Who can we watch on the outlap? I'm going to stay on board with Radical, who's starting a soft lap. So Hill picks up fastest lap on the hard, 13.1. That's actually really good for him.
Yeah, that's a great lap from him. That's going to put him in contention for pole if he goes on those mediums. Crucially, one of their biggest rivals in the Alfa Romeo of Sin Black Fox, a 10th off him on his mediums. Not sure why he's doing the mediums first. You really want to use those with the best track evolution if you're planning on starting on them, as we know, which is why you'll see so many people out on the hards to set a banker lap and then improve it at the end when the track is the best, and that's when you want to use the tire you're going to qualify on.
And we have another Renault off in Sector 3.
And Righteous is saying to turn me down just a bit more.
Oh
sorry.
Okay, we good. It's only quality, you know. Rapper, get this out of the way.
That's true. Alright, and we've got Kia now setting his actual lap on those hards. We'll see what he's able to do. Hopefully he's up there with the top guys. He's a very clean, methodical racer, so it's always nice to see him. He normally races incredibly clean, so there's not too much drama with him.
Radical, he set himself to third at the moment on softs, obviously, but we'll see.
Outdoing Pfeiffer by just about two and a half hundredths.
Yeah, and Kia's about to end this lap here. Let's see what he puts on those hards. He'll set himself good enough for 8th
at 1:14.3. Not bad.
MLG got also on the soft, so they have a couple people on the soft setting laps. Terry actually is also doing it, so that's cool to see from Terry. We already know his pace is pretty much better than everyone else's, so him setting a lap on the softs is going to be...
Yeah, as he has a massive double front lockup after a brief stint on the grass. I think, too, to take these hard times with a grain of salt, because the setup, this is such a grip-dependent track, especially for a quali lap, so the softs are that much faster than the mediums, and the mediums are that much faster than the hards, and so I know I personally also struggle with the hards, and I am Whereas, you know, normally you'd expect my medium lap to be, let's say, 8 tenths faster than my hard lap. It turns out being like 1.5 seconds faster. So I know Chipsy and Kia definitely have more pace. Same with Wizard. Definitely some hidden pace there. And Sahil doing a phenomenal job on those hards.
We'll see what time Terry puts in. He puts in a... Oh, he actually invalid it. It was 11.4 though.
Righteous is saying there is no SimHub overlay and that he will be our official technical director.
Yeah, I'm not going to open it right now. It's too risky with all the issues we had last week.
I support that decision. As now Critical is going to finish his lap on those hard tires. We'll see what he can pull down.
Ford put himself into 7th on the hard, and now his teammates about to finish the lap, like you said here. And let's see. Let's hope for a good position by Williams. Actually, he's slowing down.
As he backs up, yeah. Maybe wanting to start a new one, but I'm not sure why you would stop on the start-finish straight, as he would have invalidated there anyway, so maybe he doesn't want to set his lap. Another tricky part about this track, which I know we can't really see the sector times without SimHub, but a good setup, you know, you can't really be good in turn 1 and good through 16 and 17. 16 and 17 demands so much from the front end versus turn 1 where you really want to be understeery through there. So it would be nice to see the sector times and see just whose setup is really helping them in the 3rd sector and punishing them in the 1st sector. As Terry going to come into the pits not setting his soft lap, so maybe he's just going out there just to go out there.
Yep.
And we've got, yeah, so Sahil in the pits, pretty much everybody in the pits, besides for a few just doing some extra hard laps. And sorry, 31 Swords also going into the pits.
So, not Sandro, BMW and Solace going to start laps on the softs here. Solace starting right now. 8 minutes left, so he has to hurry up if he wants to do another one on the medium, so that's his plan here. In turn 1, he almost loses it, and I think that's an invalidation as he says slowing down. Now we're going to watch BMW.
Alright, sorry Van, Rogue said to turn on the telemetries off, like the MFD stuff, so they can see the gears.
Oh, he wants the telemetry? Okay.
Yeah, we do normally have that on. I think it's helpful, especially for reports.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Alright, so then we've got Radical on an outlap, so back onto more soft, so seeing if he can improve and maybe be in contention for pole position here with those soft tires. We've got Critical, who, yeah, he's saving as he goes down the back straight, so I think just doing some banker laps on those hard tires. Terry in the pits, BMW and Solace both on the soft tires respectively. So they're both going to be setting laps near the top, I would assume, with those tires, because both very quick drivers.
BMW comes into sector 3. See what time he can put. Solace gonna start his new hot lap. Hopefully doesn't mess up in the turn 1. And BMW will set himself with a time of 12.7. That's the fastest lap at the moment.
Yeah, good lap from him. And I will return very shortly.
We have a lot more drivers coming out as time is running out, and I'm just going to stand aboard of Solace right now, see what he can do. He'll want to put himself up there alongside his teammate. We'll see if he's down on this time here. Actually, we can't see because he didn't set a time, but I would say he's going to set close to what everyone else has on the softs at the moment. Someone gets out of his way, that is probably Chameleon.
Hill, I'm thinking, if once he goes onto those mediums. Terry still has yet to set a lap, so I think he's just waiting and then going to go out on those mediums at the end. And we've got MLG God, Pfeiffer, and Radical. Yeah, and Solace. Yeah.
Picking up that lap. That's a good lap by him. And let's see who else is going to be on the new laps here as people are starting to exit the pits. We have Wooly on soft, so I guess he's going to plan on starting in the top 10. And let's see, we have Chameleon doing 3-lap old mediums right now, so I'm not sure what the plan is there for him.
Yeah, yeah, not sure either. Way more soft runners than I would have ever imagined in the top 10.
Definitely.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 of the top 10 are on those. So, no, that's not right, is it? No, 6. There we go. I knew my math was off. 6 of the top 10 on softs, and I don't think those laps are going to be beatable for them on medium. So we're going to have a lot of two-stopping, which actually, when you do have this many people two-stopping, does increase the viability of a two-stop.
Yeah.
And so then, yeah, Terry is out on those mediums now.
But again, you know, we already saw in the beginning half quali how people take that turn 1. We could see a bunch of safety cars come out as well.
Absolutely,
so
yeah.
Some people are betting on that coming early and flipping into a new tire. And
yeah, no, that's very smart. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, no, I mean, the safety car can really bring any strategy into play and can also punish any other counter strategy. So as Sahil now crosses the line to start his medium lap, let's see what he can do. And sorry, Kia gets in front of his teammate by 0.04 on the mediums.
Wow.
Sahil's lap, of course.
Look at Captain. I just watched him finish this lap. 13.3, only 2/10 behind Kia, and Sahil, that's very impressive by him.
On the mediums, yeah. No, so Kia on those mediums set a 1:13.1, whereas Sahil on the hards is a 1:13.5. So it looks like he's got the measure of him in quali again. If he can set a lap, of course he just invalidated his, so he backed off. But
Sword, it's an N1. Can we see a good lap by him? Yes, we will. 3rd place for Williams at the moment.
On those medium tires. Fantastic.
Almost loses it. Coming out of turn 1. Let's see. Wizard obviously won the watch here. Who is starting his hot lap here.
And then we've got Astro about to cross the line here with another timed lap on those medium tires. Stays 17th with unable to improve a 1:15 flat. And then spins out in turn 1, saves it, then counter steers back, and he is right now in the middle of the racing track in turn 1. Now he's in the gravel. That's going to be tough to get out without going back on the track as he does, but I don't think there's anybody in danger.
No one's nearby, luckily for him. Wizard, gonna see if he's down on his time once he crosses to sector 3.
So it's Sahil now, comes across the line to start his 2nd flying lap, but, you know, the first one hopefully doesn't invalidate, as I think he just invalidated. No, he did not. And then Terry also about to cross the line, so we're going to see their times come through in quick succession. That time he just set, he was not pushing. That was sort of a cool-down lap.
He was up on his time by 5/10, probably more now, but we'll see once he crosses the line. But I am on board of Sahil. It's coming up to the hairpin.
Yeah, so it's really important to get good braking here, because if you're able to take that slow corner through the middle, he goes out a bit wider than is probably optimal, but you want to make sure that you're nice and slow there so you get the power down, and then of course you want to ride this curb nice and easy as he does, and then use all the curbing here. So cut that corner way more than he did, not really utilizing, and then really cut this corner, which he does a better job of there so you don't run out wide. So all in all, not quite as good as he probably could have, but still a great clean lap from him as he comes through the 3rd sector, carrying a lot of speed into this turn. And I'm blanking on it. I think it is turn 15. No, that's this turn. This is turn 15. Yeah, no, so looks like a good lap from him. Definitely going to improve on his hard time, I would assume. Runs out wide there like you should. Kind of loses the rear end a bit more than you'd want to. Opens up DRS, and he's going to come across the line and go first fastest.
Pole position, 12.2. 3/10 faster than Solace. And we have a lot of people on laps.
As Terry is about to cross the line and does a 1:11.9. So now on provisional pole, but Sahil, I believe, yeah, backs off, so he's not going to be setting another lap. Solace, I don't think is setting another lap. BMW does look like he is setting another lap on those soft tires. Kia is on an out lap, so he's going to try to get more out of those medium tires.
Big Win, you are right. This track does look like a boot on the mini-map. And, yeah, I think Sandro might set a faster time for sure.
And so, actually, sorry to butt in here, but we've got the 2 Mercedes boys using the tow with each other. Madman giving Only Use My Dad the tow and then going off into the runoff area, so letting Only Use My Dad get the corner. So that's going to give him a nice boost on the straight, especially if he's using a high downforce setup. He has to lift there, so that's not doing too great for his lap, but we'll see where he places, hopefully inside the top 10. Otherwise, I would be expecting to see him starting on those good tires.
Steals 3rd place from Solace. Is Solace doing another lap? He is, so he'll have a chance to respond to that. But we have a lot of laps about to finish here. as time is up in quali. Everyone is pretty much in Sector 3 at the moment, so we're about to see a whole bunch of positional changes. That only good enough for 13th. That's a disappointing run by him.
Maybe, but as you mentioned, with those safety cars could really bring that hard to medium strategy into play. And then one thing that does worry me for the drivers is we've got BMW and Solus both doing effectively 5 laps on those soft tires before the race is even started.
Doing 3, that's dangerous for the tires.
Yeah, and now if you count an outlap and an in-lap and then another outlap for getting out onto the track because he did pit, that's no bueno. Kia able to improve a little bit, I think, there. Up into 5th position on those mediums, but doing 3 laps on them.
And, everyone is pretty much done. I think it's only Chameleon left.
As Uwe retires, he's missing a wheel, so that's not optimal.
I'm seeing critical of that. And the hairpin, oh my god! Big accident!
As Sin's gone too.
Wow. Alright. Hopefully
a short view back to the past, we will see that Sahil was also in 2nd place.
Oh
when
yeah,
he
you're
caused a massive turn 1 pileup in T2 last season.
Sword has a 5 position penalty. He's in 7th. That has to hurt for sure.
And Pfeiffer, as you'll remember, was up in 3rd, now down into 14th with everybody else improving. Also, 31 Sword picked up a 5-place grid penalty for that collision as well, so he's down in 7th. Oh, you said that.
Yeah.
Thought you were talking about Captain.
No.
Right. Yeah, and then Sahil, only 3/10 off Terry on those mediums, BMW 5/10 off on the softs, and Solus about a 10th off of him on those softs as well. Hopefully, we see some rain, but yeah. This is looking like an interesting grid, especially with the amount of soft runners we're going to have in the top. I believe it's 4.
We do have and then, of course, cover up. There will be no rain, but it will be overcast. You never know with this game. Sometimes it might drip a little bit.
Yeah, so hopefully everybody outside the top 10 gets their nose to not put on the softs. That would be a bummer to do that. Of course, track position is not very important here with that long DRS straight. As powerful as it is in this game, it's pretty easy to pass if you've got the pace on somebody. Very easy to stay with someone who you're equal on pace. So, yeah, I think the harder tires are definitely the way to go. That DRS can drag you pretty far through the race.
And we're about to get underway with the formation lap in Hockenheim here. Will we see some carnage into turn 1, or will it be clean?
I'm assuming we're going to see some crashes, hopefully just not from the top runner. Well, hopefully not from anybody, but I would assume it not coming from the top runners would be the most likely scenario. As a Pfeiffer, who previously sassed me about the T2 knowing how to do the formation laps, as I watched both Ferraris jump the formation lap. Yeah, so now we've got the cars weaving, getting their tires and brakes up to temperature. This one is it's a bit weird. You don't really need to get your brakes too up to temperature. Of course, you know, a lot of turn 1s are heavy braking zones like Canada and well, kind of France. Were the last 2 they did, especially Baku. But here you're really just kind of tapping the brakes, downshifting and throwing the car in, especially with the slow speed you've got coming off of a grid start. So they're not going to be carrying their full speed through there. And there's plenty of times to warm up the brakes there, so I would be surprised if we see a lot of starting and stopping here. It's not very crucial, but of course getting the lateral load ready for the tires, so getting them heated up, especially the rears, to be able to grab the track and shoot you out turn 1. It's very dangerous to have full tires.
Apparently we only have 3 soft runners. I could have sworn there was more in the top 10, but maybe because Sword jumped down, I guess. Not sure. But we'll see what happens if BMW, Solus, and Radical on those softs. We have a couple of hard runners in the back. Boredom. We'll see how this affects everyone's strategy.
So Van, I know I'm a bit disappointed that the track's not going to be moist today. What are you thinking? How many safety cars are you calling? Because if we're not going to have a moist track, we're going to need a safety car to kind of mix in the moisture.
Well, considering that first half of quality, I think we're going to see at least 1, but we could see maximum of like 3 or 4.
As yes, Pfeiffer. Oh no, that's Captain. Rip onto the grid. Wow, that would have been So we do have a couple people resetting to the grid. Now we've got the final 2 round the corner as Astro getting ready to take his grid position, and the lights will go on.
Yep. And here we go. Waiting for the 5 lights. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we're away in Hockenheim.
Sahil gets a horrible start there.
Yes.
Going to be passed by the by Salas behind him. No, actually, Salas gets blockaded, so Sahil doing a good job to maintain
The
that
turn on
position.
pretty cleanly, and someone gets pushed off.
Oh,
It's gonna be
so-
Radical.
Radical loses it, but able to keep control of it, and all the cars staying clean there through the back of the pack. Looks like we're all clean now. As Sahil's
Oh,
going
and
to have.
someone's getting
Oh,
hit.
we go wide. That's Kia going wide, and the Renault of BMW Power also going wide. As Sahil now on the back of Terry as we go down one of the longest straights in the calendar. I think the slipstream is going to be enough for him to do something. As 31 Sword picks up a corner cutting penalty, probably for somewhere in turn 1, and Sahil Terry covers him off. As Sahil was looking for a way, but Terry locks up.
Oh, and someone
Sahil
just
now
crashed.
able to go down the inside.
That's
Yeah.
Sandro. Oh, and we're
And,
having action in the hairpin.
Yeah, we've got a lot of drivers going a bit wide there. 31 Sword picking up a 5-second penalty for an illegal overtake. As Chameleon is now off, so is Uwe, Wooly, and Astro.
Oh, and there's collision with Sword and Fox. But it looks okay from both of them.
Oh, and that's going to be MLG God spinning on the middle of the track into the wall. Oh, he just saves it right where Sergio Perez lost it in 2019. Able to keep it on the track after collision with the Mercedes.
there's a
Oh, and that's going to be
BMW.
BMW
Yeah,
losing it in the
BMW.
gravel trap and taking...
Oh, and there's
taking
another
after-
accident. It's solid spinning and losing, probably attacking 2 people's wings right there. Oh my god. We're off to a chaotic start indeed.
As Terry
Terry.
picks up the fastest lap of the race. Now we've got the back markers coming through now. Wow. And we've
Yeah.
got the 2 Mercedes. Only used my dad up into 10th position. Madman.
Look at
up into
Pfeiffer.
11th.
He's in 6th, doing an excellent job right now. And,
As Salas pits.
let's see who else is looking at positional changes here. Yeah, Pfeiffer gaining the most so far. He's in up by 7 positions. Wizard up by 4. Gypsy 3. And right now we have a huge gap forming between 2nd and 3rd as well.
As we've got Chipsy
Oh,
looking for a move as Kia goes really early through that hairpin, and now Chipsy is all over the back of him, making up a lot of time in the braking zone of turn 6 there, as now we run into turn, I was going to say turn 7. I don't know if that's considered a turn. I have no idea. We've got Sin now looking fairly close to 31. I know you said there was some contact there, so maybe that's why he's behind. And we've got a 3-way battle as Radical gets past Madman and is now looking to get past Only Use My Dad and the other Merc, but not much overtaking to be done through this 3rd sector. So not much really going on here as Critical's 8/10ths off them, Captain 1.4 off him. Chameleon into the gravel, comes back on the track. Looks like he's all fine.
Yep.
So I'd be curious to see, yeah, as DRS is now enabled, be curious to see if Chipsy's going to be able to get past Kia here, as he's got the pretty much
I'm
the closest
interested
gap.
about Pfeiffer as well. He could be in that battle as well. He's not too far off. Hopefully he can.
So
stay
Pfeiffer, an absolute blessing that he was put into 14th and able to switch his tires, because if he was on those softs right now, he would not be happy. As
Someone's
Chipsy's
off.
got the DRS on Kia.
It's critical. He has lost his entire left wing in turn 1. That is disappointing for sure. Up the hill, up the grid. What do we see? We didn't see any positional changes with the DRS at the moment.
Wow, unfortunate for Critical. We've got Chipsy 5/10ths off Kia, but Kia crucially out of the range of Wizard's DRS, at least for the time being, to see if he can claw some of that back. We've got a really nice little bit of a trend there as Chipsy runs quite wide. The Ferrari, oh! And that's, I think that was 31 Swords able to save it, but almost went straight into the wall there, losing the rear end as it stepped out on the exit of turn 10. So Chipsy now actually kind of fallen out of Kia's DRS.
And so is
I'm not
Pfeiffer
sure.
on Chipsy, so that's not going to be good for
Chipsy
him.
was able to actually get the DRS though for the straight. He's now 8/10, so I'm going to ride on board with him through turn 1. He's able to get a good run through there. Kia actually looking like he got the better, but I'd be surprised if Kia didn't pick up a warning for that one. He went pretty far off the track. So now Chipsy in the hunt for him, and Kia still out of Wizard's DRS, so this is just going to be DRS for Chipsy, none for Kia, and of course this is one of the longest DRS straights.
Don't see any moves done yet. Down the grid we have Sin Fox right behind Sword. So want to gain that position as soon as possible. Madman behind Radical, who's on those softs. He'll have to pit very shortly.
And so Terry now with a 2.3 second gap back to Sahil. But as you mentioned, this race I don't think is over until the last 6 laps when the safety car window peels out, or it might be the last 4 laps, I don't know.
Great.
But yeah, I can imagine a safety car definitely happening here, Fury, thank you. Yes, the grid kind of spaced out in the back, but then we've got MLG God looking for a move on Wooly, who Wooly's also within the DRS of Uue, Madman in the DRS, well within the DRS of Rad. Terry picks up the new fastest lap, breaking his previous. And Chipsy now closer than he was last lap by about 2/10 going into this. If he can carry a lot of speed through turn 1, and it looks like he does as Kia really loses the rear end there, and I think he's going to be a sitting duck on this straight as Chipsy makes up even more time, down to 4/10. Kia, just to add insult to injury, goes in the grass a little bit. For Chipsy, the rear end steps out a bit, trying to swerve the car back under with a little bit of oversteer. Now he's going for the move now as he's going to swerve to the inside as Kia's onto the grass, making sure he leaves him plenty of space. Comes back on the track, pushes him a bit wide, but then returning to the racing line, Chipsy has got the position into turn 6. Can he keep it on the track, though? Not quite, as Kia almost goes into the back of him there on the inside. But I think
go side by side for a bit. Nope. He'll back off for a bit. Wait for a better opportunity to get past him again. Down the grid, we have Sword and Fox, and only my Dad very close to each other. Dad on those hards, and Madman. So Mercedes on the hards right now in a pretty favorable spot at the moment. Maybe build something later on as everyone pits. Sword is attacking the hell out of Pfeiffer right now, though. He is 3/10 behind him. I think he has this move done once he has DRS on the start-finish line.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if he goes for the move into turn 1. That seems risky. And yeah, it looks like Pfeiffer does get a better exit because this corner is hard enough as it is without the dirty air. But with the dirty air, it's nigh on impossible to get a move into turn 1 without the person in front getting a lot of oversteer. As he runs wide into turn 1 there, he's going to pick up a warning for that because this game is disgusting. And is now all over the back of Pfeiffer into the straight. Pfeiffer almost got like a burst of speed like he got hit, but I don't think he did. So now 31 Sword's rear wing is going to open, and we'll see what he can do into the hairpin. I think he's got it pretty easy. Fife goes to the inside to defend, meaning 31 Sword's going to have to go to the outside. Pfeiffer doing a great job defending. Goes really early on the brakes.
Oh, and Fox almost hits the back of Sword. That could have been dangerous as Sword gets past Pfeiffer, and now Fox will be looking for that same move.
And now only use my Dad, all over the back of Sin, having to get out of that, going really deep into that corner. And now
I think he's going for a move? Nope. He was looking at it, though. Dad would love to take up all 3 of these positions right now. Put himself into 6 on those hards.
As Astro pits, Critical gets past him, so Critical on the medium tires committing to a 2-stop for certain. Not that I think anything else would be possible from this point in the race. And so we've also got, Chipsy able to pull a nice gap to Kia and actually close the gap to Wizard.
And that hits Scrabble. Oh, he saves it though from spinning, but he's going to lose out on a lot of time there.
And it looks like Sin is going to be eyeing a move on Pfeiffer here as Sin goes wide, picking up a warning. And now we've got Only Use My Dad, as you said, pretty far back now after that little swim in the gravel. And so now Sin is going to be looking to get the power down early. He does, and it looks like he's got the better exit already. Fife saving a bit of energy down in 0, so I think he's just letting this move happen. He knows it's not worth fighting as Sin goes to the inside. He's going to return to the racing line here, and the position is his. Only Use My Dad actually now kind of able to slingshot using Pfeiffer and catch right back up as he almost goes into the back of him as he goes deep into that corner, but he's able to keep it on the track, not lose too much time in the grand scheme of it. 31 Sword now closing the gap to Kia slightly, and Sin out of his DRS.
Very close battle we're having between 6 and 9 at the moment. Captain could be eyeing a move on Radical, but Radical has to pit a couple laps, so maybe he won't be forcing it too much. Doesn't want to make a mistake here.
Yeah, so now Terry 4.5 seconds ahead of Sahil as, that's looking like he's got that position on lock, at least for the time being. As Kia still falling back from Chipsy a little bit, and 31 Sword building a small gap to Sin, as Pfeiffer's actually
Sin picks up a penalty. That turn 1 cut.
And so Fife and Only Use My Dad are both going to have DRS. Only Use My Dad with a good enough... As Pfeiffer almost loses it, and that causes Only Use My Dad to almost lose it. But with Pfeiffer actually having that DRS, I'm not sure if Only Use My Dad is going to be able to get past, but he's getting a lot of speed there as Pfeiffer defends the outside of the turn 6, basically, in advance. And now Only Use My Dad is going to dive down the inside later on the brakes, as he's been doing pretty much the whole race. Takes the inside line and's got the move done very cleanly. But, crucially, with that fighting, kind of loses the DRS to Sin.
And Radical and Captain were fighting on that straight, and Captain is right all behind Radical, still looking for that move. Right behind them is UA, who's in a really good position for Red Bull. We know Red Bull hasn't picked up any points, so we'll be rooting for them to get as close as possible to 10th. And we have Captain still waiting for that move.
So yeah, I was definitely mistaken. Only Use My Dad definitely able to stay within the DRS of Sin, and Sin just losing out the DRS of 31 Sword, but I think he had it in the detection point he did, so he's able to... Oh, Only Use My Dad into the wall! Only Use My Dad into the wall with a red wing just passing the entrance to the pit, so he is a long way from home, and he's going to have to limp it back as his teammate now passes him into turn 1. Only Use My Dad almost hits the side of him, but he's just going so slow. As Madman now going super slow because it's VSC.
Yep.
So that's going to help Only Use My Dad get back to the pits a bit safer. And Astra picks up a 3-second penalty under VSC. That's
There's someone
bizarre.
pitting. It's going to be Radical, who's pitting under virtual safety car on those softs. Not too much will be gained, but still. Nice, good time to do it. He will put on the hards. So he'll be finishing this race, hopefully on those hards, as we're back to racing again.
Yeah, we're back to racing here. So yeah, still a long way to go for Only Use My Dad to make it back to the pits. I think that's going to be, without a safety car, he's going to really struggle to get himself back up into that place he was in. Now, Wizard actually doing a phenomenal job of keeping and building that gap to Chipsy from 1.8 now to 2.7 4 laps later.
And Terry is just running with it again. Almost 5 seconds between him and Sahil. Sahil could be under threat of Wizard if he's not too careful.
Yeah, unfortunately, Terry and Sahil fighting, quite frankly, that is heavyweight versus flyweight. Not much of a fight to be had in Germany today.
We have so many gaps right now. The field is spread out. We have Captain, who's close enough to Dad, who he almost hits the rear of as Dad was going to the pits. Luckily, nothing happened there, and Captain has found himself into 10th place at the moment. Ooh, 8 and 11, so again, hopefully he can keep this pace up.
And Only Use My Dad going out of the soft compound tires.
That makes sense. I don't think you can finish his race by going on to mediums, and he can't go back on hards because he started on hards, so he'll be stopping again. He'll try to gain as much positions as possible. These stops.
Yeah, that's true. Still, I would have still gone medium at this point. Oh my God! Solid into the wall at turn 1, retiring.
And right in front of him. Wow.
That's a safety car. We've got a safety car. We got a full safety car. Thank you, Solace.
Dad has to be completely livid right now. Completely. That is so unfortunate for him. And I saw Solace zoom past him.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then, okay, so we have a safety car. Who can we see pit? Is everyone gonna pit on those mediums?
Everybody would have to pit on lap 9 on those mediums. This is a gift and a half to make it to the end here. Wizard staying out. Wizard staying out, so he wants the lead. That's a huge mistake.
We'll see what happens. I mean, maybe Wizard has a plan.
This is close to your pit window, though. He's only going to be able to go 2 laps longer. He's not going to make 20 seconds up in that time. I'm going to have to say not the smartest move from him. 31 Sword also stays out for track position, so Terry's going to have to be following Wizard.
Madman also doesn't look like he's on those hards, so it makes sense for him. Hatton picks up a penalty for speeding in the pit lane. You hate to see it. And
so does
is also staying out. He's going to gain positions, but this could be, like you said, the downfall right now for everyone on those mediums. Sword, Wizard, and him. Disqualified. Whoa. Okay, is that real?
That's probably going to be for overtaking the safety car. He still is controlling his car, so yeah, that's not going to be...
That bug always gets me. I hate it. You have to feel for Dad, though. I mean, coming into the pits just then, just to have a safety car right when you exit is... hate it.
Yeah, it must be said, poor decision from 31 Sword and Wizard, at least for the time being, in my opinion. I'm not really sure why you wouldn't pit now. You're only about a lap or 5 off your pit window, and I don't think you'll be able to build a 20-second gap. Crucially, those hards more than able to go to the end from this point on, and especially the people around you. But Davey's waiting for the fresh rubber, and this has worked kind of a treat for Sahil to be able to, one, close that gap, but two, Terry's got to do has to make an overtake. Crucially, so does Sahil, but still maybe causing Terry a bit of trouble.
It's going to be interesting to see what chips he can pull as well. I'm definitely interested to see how Madman will play out since he didn't pit. He was going to go for his normal time of, I don't know what lap it would be, maybe like 22, I think, right? On those hards?
Yeah, that sounds about right. Maybe a bit earlier because you're going to be having a lot less fuel and you didn't quali on them, so they can go longer than the initial stint of those mediums. Uwe, obviously, also staying out. Astro staying out on his new mediums. And yeah, only use my dad in a pretty wretched position right now, but at least it helps him close up to the field, so maybe he can do that overtaking with those soft tires.
Yeah.
And build a little bit of a gap before he has to pit again inevitably.
I don't think this is the last time we'll be seeing the safety car. Wait, it was due to a mistake of Solace, but I mean, with this new start, everyone's going to be anxious to get past and get positions.
Crucially, everybody warming up their tires, but Wizard, who is not warming up his tires at all, and has got them down to their carcass temperatures at 80 degrees Celsius. So, for reference, Terry, who has been on those harder tires, is at about 84 on some of them. So he's hotter on those harder tires, which is yeah. Wizard's got to warm up his tires a little bit more, now down to 77 degrees.
And we have 10-second penalty for Wally, and someone else got something. I'm just gonna check it out.
Yeah, we'll picking that up for track extension under the safety car. And so, yeah, this is going to be quite an interesting restart. I assume the safety car will be in this lap.
Radical as well, so both Toro Rossos, that 10 seconds going to hurt.
So now Wizard is trying to warm up his tires. It looks like he's doing a good job of it at this point. And so I believe the safety car should be in this lap, but I guess no, it's staying out another lap. So we've got another lap under the safety car before the racing gets back underway here. And yeah, so who do you think benefited the most from this safety car?
I mean, it's hard to tell with everyone pitting, but we'll just have to see what happens in the race. I mean, anyone can benefit from pitted right now. So this is, I hope they have a good start. Once it restarts, Wizard will be hoping to have a good start. Obviously, he believes that he will if he didn't pit. So maybe trust in himself to build the gap between everyone else. But we could see Sahil do something as well.
And so, yeah, with that being in mind, I think it's pretty clear who the biggest loser is from this, and that's going to be Only Use My Dad.
Yeah, you have to feel for him. MLG God picks up a 5-second penalty. And someone is in the pits. It's going to be Astro switching for the hards.
So it must be said too, Terry getting his tires up to 100 degrees on the straight here, whereas Wizard is down to 80. So yeah, as far as optimal starting temperatures, Terry's going to be in a much better position to maybe even jump him right off the restart. And we'll see if Wizard, I don't know if he's led a safety car before, if he's familiar with how to lead the pack through the third sector. But we'll see what he's capable. I mean, obviously, we know he's a very capable racer. We'll see what he's able to do on this restart, and if he can keep Terry behind for a few laps and give Sahil a chance to get back in the mix, maybe get in front of him.
I always find when the safety car goes in really funny because a lot of people don't realize that the car in front goes at 90 miles per hour or whatever. So
well, when that happens, yeah. So the safety car is in this lap. When that happens, that is completely on the lead driver's inexperience. You become the pace car, so no sudden jerks and stops. You are leading at the near pace until the safety car goes in the pits, and yeah, Wizard does not know what he's doing. He is catching up quite rapidly to the safety car, and so you want to have a nice gap and not be predictable.
Doesn't it force you to 90?
No, it does not. You are able to control the pace. No, that's if you cross the line while the safety car is not in the pits yet. So if you were to accelerate now, and he gets out of line with those cold tires that I was mentioning.
And we're back into
Terry
racing.
Looking for a move back onto the inside. We've got a Red Bull spun out in the back. Terry staying behind Wizard for now, as Sahil trying to looking for a move past Sword, unable to do so. And then back down the field, we've got Madman also looking for a move. Well, pretty much everybody looking for a move on everybody at this point.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was Astro spinning out, and now the two Red Bulls down in 18th and 19th. So looking like not a great result for them. As Only Use My Dad gets past Captain there at the restart.
Keel with an excellent two-car overtake. I just saw that briefly. In the corner
Yeah,
of my
Chipsy
screen.
also getting past. Chipsy maybe looking for a move on Kia, but goes super early on the break. Sahil and Madman now wheel to wheel as Madman gets past Sahil. So Sahil losing a position. Well, no, actually, sorry, they're wheel to wheel now. As we go into turn 7, Sahil smacks into the side of him there. And so now as we go through there, Sahil's got the position back as Wizard now gets overtaken by Terry and spins. Wizard's off the track. Wizard's off the track and spun. And so now Sahil up into second, Kia up into third. Got a 2-3 for the Racing Point boys, both already pitting and able to go to the end. Madman, or Chipsy looking for a move on Madman, sorry, as we go into the Parabolica here, or whatever you call it. I think it's technically I don't know.
So we're already up to a 2-second gap from Thierry in 1 lap. And looks like Wizard has spun, yep, so he's in 17th. Got a feel for the McLaren boys today, causing their own downfall.
Yeah, Terry picks up a 3-second penalty, and now we've got Pfeiffer getting past Only Use My Dad, or retaining that position as Only Use My Dad now goes around to the inside, now maybe even looking for a move on Sin. Not quite, but he's going to have a nice slipstream, and he actually does get wheel to wheel with Sin now, going to have a nice switchback, much better on the power now, and he's going to get past his 31 Sword, looking for a move on oh wait, no, he lagged back.
There is so much action going on right now. I believe Pfeiffer's going to make a move on Fox. Yes, he is. He's going to go on the inside. He has to be careful as he goes on the inside of 3 people. No, that's dangerous.
Wow, and they're all off the track.
No.
The Red Sea really parted there for Sin, and Only Use My Dad losing yet more time as MLG God gets in front of him now. Captain picks up a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. And Sin, yeah, really got 3 positions in 1 there.
Yeah, Sin benefited the most out of that ordeal. Down the grid, though, it's still a very close battle between everyone in the midfield at the moment. Dad making a move on MLG God with those softs. Not yet. Gonna play it safe.
And so Chipsy, 1 place off his comfort zone. We'll see if the Racing Point boys are feeling racy today, or if Kia's going to slot in behind Sahil for the rest of the race. DRS is back to re-enabled, and Madman within the DRS of Chipsy.
Sword is pitting on those mediums.
So I really want to see here as Kia is 5/10 off the back of Sahil, and he's going to have DRS down this straight. If he can get a better exit, which I don't think he did. Yeah, it looks like Sahil was able to get a much better exit, but this DRS is so powerful. Kia just saving energy, actually. So yeah, I think he's going to be playing the team game and staying behind. They don't want to fight, at least not now. Crucial though, Chipsy out of their DRS.
Dad doing an excellent job climbing up the grid again after that terrible, unfortunate safety car coming out. We have Fox having the rev engine glitch going on here, but he's in 6th right now. And Madman still in 5th. He's on those initial hards he started with, so he'll have to pit soon. He's going to hope that a gap can form between everyone else behind him.
And Terry now with a 3.1 second gap to Sahil. And Chipsy within the DRS actually doing a fantastic job of gaining almost, I think that was right 5/10 in that 3rd sector now to be 8/10 off with DRS. So he might be looking for a move on Kia though. Kia crucially having the DRS of his teammate at least. Yeah, he still really does. That should help him from losing the position to Chipsy too easy. But yeah, Chipsy is 1 place away from his comfort zone, so we'll see what he can do.
Fox on the back of Madman. Can he get the move done on the straight?
I think, I think Madman's a sitting duck here, kind of moving around as Sin goes to the inside, and of course he's been late on the brakes. Every time as he does, he just soars past him under braking, so much so he goes off the track, and he's going to come back, and he might even lose that position to Captain. No, he's able to retain that position.
I think Captain's going to go side by side with him, and he will get that. Oh my god!
He goes onto the grass.
That could have been dangerous. Holy.
And then goes, and that's bringing Only Use My Dad back into this fight on those soft tires, but they're already 7 laps old, so he's going to be really struggling as, his tire temps are 110 on the rears.
Right now, the closest battle is between 5th and 8th. In between the Mercedes sandwich is Fox and Captain.
Yeah, Fox, I think just saving energy here as we go into turn 1 using that DRS. As he gets a much better line through there, actually having to lift off so that he doesn't go into the back of him, which has brought Captain and Only Use My Dad right into the mix. We might see a 3 wide here.
Going into the inside of Captain.
not able to get the move, but again, he might get that similar switchback-esque that he got the lap before. Not quite able to, but definitely as the DRS. I'm thinking we're going to see a 3 wide here, as Madman really is a sitting duck on the straight. I don't think he's going to be able to do much.
It's going to be
yeah, only use my dad onto the inside and Sin onto the inside. Madman able to make it. Oh, and we've got really slow pace here as only use my dad makes the move onto Captain, but now Sin and Madman are wheel to wheel. Sin looking for the move. He's on the inside of this corner, and crucially, that gives only Madman the inside of the next corner, but Sin dives for it and gets spun. Able to save it, and the Mercedes.
Oh, it gets
cracked again by the Mercedes of only use my dad and Captain as well.
That is intense fighting by all these drivers right now, and because of that, they're bringing MLG God and BMW into the mix now as well.
So Madman able to keep that position and now has a buffer to Sin of his teammate on those soft tires.
Terry just keeps picking on that fastest lap as he's built that 5-second gap once again.
Kia, though, 4/10 off his teammate. I think he's got to go for a move. He picks up a 3-second penalty for a rapid extension. There's Sahil lagging all over the place. Kia going to be looking for a move onto this straight as he is really 2/10 off for a moment there. Now back to 4/10. He's going to open up that rear wing of the drag reduction system, possibly looking for a move. He's got overtake on. He's looking for a move. Sahil defends to the inside as Kia's going to be going down the outside here as he goes later on the brakes. Sahil goes later on the brakes. Back down the inside. Kia looks like he's going to yield to his teammate there so he doesn't go off the track. Keeps it under control and is able to get a decent exit, but Sahil very late on the brakes. Mighty defending.
Dad does the same move and he gets past his teammate, but will Madman get it back? No, he will not. So Dad finding himself back in the 5th position. Not bad at all, but both Mercedes have to pit shortly. Hopefully they do it at different times and don't double stack. That would be very unfortunate. But Fox is all behind us right now. He's going to gain the most out of these two pitting, which will happen in a few laps.
And so only use my dad 9 laps already on those tires. I'm thinking he's got to be pretty close to puncture territory. I'd be surprised if he doesn't pit this lap or next lap.
They have to. I mean, they can't pit at the same time. It'd be really stupid. They have to. Hopefully, they're talking to each other about it, and he is going to the pits.
Yeah, he does pit.
I think we'll see Madman do it next lap or the next 2. We'll see.
As a what? That's Terry into the wall at turn 1. Terry's off.
This is
Terry is off, and a horrible red wing there. A horrible red wing there for Terry. Massive damage. He's getting passed by Captain Sin, BMW, MLG, Chameleon, and Critical are definitely going to get past him on the straight there.
And Sahil's going to get. He's fighting Kia.
Oh my
God, each other. Oh,
he pushes his teammate off the line. That's going to be Chipsy now looking for the position as they are both now. All 3 of them are so close as we had contact into the hairpin. Sahil weaving a bit on the straights. Not sure what that is for as he really moved into Kia under the braking zone. Similar to a BMW-esque last season move.
Yeah.
Now Kia is looking all over the back of his teammate. He's looking for that move as he's going to get the DRS on the long straight. So is Chipsy going to get the DRS of Kia, and he's much closer to Kia than Kia is to Sahil. Of course, Sahil's lagging, so it's kind of hard to judge for them. As Chipsy is just pushing Kia through those corners. I think Kia has a lot of grass on his tires from the hairpin and then crucially going off again. So as we go onto the pit straight, it is going to be wheel to wheel. Either turn 1 or turn 6.
This is going to be a crazy battle between the Racing Point and Alfa Romero.
And so Terry in 9th position, still yet to pit, so he's going to lose even more time.
I'm excited to see what's going to happen.
So Chipsy, Sahil, and Kia can smell a race victory, and I don't think there are going to be any punches held between the two Racing Point boys, especially after what just happened last time around into this corner as Sahil lags forward a bit. Chipsy now falling back just a bit to 6/10, but still well within the race.
And I think we're going to see another bold move.
As Kia, they smack wheels yet again. Kia slightly in the lead there as Kia looks around the outside. Sahil now on the inside, but Kia's going to be on the inside for the next corner. Kia squeezing him, making him yield. He's not going to, but he does. Kia into the race lead. Sorry.
This is incredible racing right now.
With Terry out, this is open season for the Racing Point boys, and of course Chipsy and Sin now looking 8 seconds off.
This is going to be one hell of a fight for, 13 more laps between all 3 of these drivers. They don't have to pit anymore, so the pressure is on.
And Sahil, yeah, really struggling through that 3rd sector. At least it looked like it, but then he lagged forward again, so
down the
not
field,
really sure.
We see Madman right on the back of Sin, but he still has to pit, and I wonder when it's going to happen.
You'll have to forgive me, but screw the midfielders. Chipsy gets past Sahil. Sahil
he does.
loses it in turn 1, and now Chipsy is looking on the back of the race lead now.
Oh, he almost taps the back of Chipsy. That was dangerous. And now it's Chipsy and Kia now going to be battling that as Chipsy.
And crucially, Chipsy has got the DRS. Wow, I'm getting giddy here. This is awesome.
Oh, let's go.
Chipsy looking to get the race lead on the inside. Chipsy going to the inside, down the inside. He has got the move done. Unless he goes too deep, it looks like he went a little deep. Yeah. Kia able to get the switch back and keep the position for now. Sahil still out of contention for that position at this time being, as he did lose it through turn 1, and as you said, almost rear-ended Chipsy. So Chipsy, a little bit overeager on the brakes. I think he smelled his first victory right there in front of him, but very much still within Kia's gearbox and well within the race win here.
Oh, Chipsy goes wide. He has to be careful. That's definitely a warning for him there. Just got to keep calm, Chipsy, head down. One mistake by Kia and you get the lead they've been looking for.
This is awesome. This is shaping up to be the best race of the season. Is Terry down in 15th. Sorry, Terry. I love you, buddy, but this is giving some other people a chance. Terry, of course, he's a great guy. I think we've had him on for interviews, so no disrespect to him whatsoever. You can't be mad at somebody for being good, but it is nice to see some unfamiliar faces battling for the race lead as Kia goes onto the grass, maybe playing chicken with the DRS, but no, not quite. That brings Sahil back into it. Kia might be pushing him, backing him up into Sahil, but no, I think Kia is definitely a sitting duck this time around, as Chipsy only has to put it in third as he's got the DRS. Now he's going to go to the outside as Kia defends to the inside of turn 6. And Chipsy's well past and into the lead of the German Grand Prix here. Wow.
Matt only has my dad up into 9th after pitting on those softs, so his strategy is working out for him at the moment.
Yeah, and we've got Sahil. Wow. You do not expect to see 3 people this close in the top 3 with this long, this late in the race. Granted, there was a safety car, but these guys have kept this gap for now 4 or 5. Has it been? Wow, it's been 6 laps.
Yeah, it's been
12 laps. Sorry. Jeez.
It's been a lot of laps here, and it's still a lot more to go. We could see focus dwindling down. Someone's going to make a mistake, I feel like, coming up soon. And, looks like...
don't say that, man. Come on. Come on.
Astro is going past Sahil.
So now, yes, Sahil out of the DRS now, unable to use it on the next straight unless he catches up, and I don't think he has. So Kia now 6/10 within Chipsy. Sin Black picks up a 3-second time penalty. Chipsy gets a phenomenal launch out of turn 5 now on the run down into turn 6. I don't think Kia's going to be able to do anything. Crucially, though, the energy management from Chipsy is going to be incredibly difficult with DRS in this long straight. Sahil actually able to keep DRS off the back marker, Astro, who is not getting out of the way yet because he's on the soft tire.
He makes that mistake in the hairpin every time. He goes completely wide, and I think he is starting to take notice of it, and we'll see how he responds next couple of laps.
So Astro finally getting out of the way, but that did bring Sahil back within DRS, at least for the time being.
It's going to go down the grid a bit to see what's going on. I don't think we'll see any moves until the next straight. We have Captain on behind of BMW. Both of these guys in excellent positions. Step in 6. And
Kia all over the back of Chipsy here as we head onto the pit straight. 3/10 the gap between first and second as we head onto the pit straight. The drag reduction system opening for Kia, not for Chipsy. So he's going to be a sitting duck on this long straight if Kia can keep this gap. Chipsy, however, has been faster through turn 1, and I believe Kia has a 3-second penalty. Chipsy does not.
Kia does have a penalty.
Oh, and that's somebody into the wall.
That is
back in turn 1. Yeah, that's Astro into the wall, able to actually keep his wing there. So now I'm going to go back to Kia now, opening DRS as Astro retires from the session. That's unfortunate for him. I think he did that on track 2, which is not ideal. But we've got Chipsy now able to keep the position into turn 6. But as you said, going a bit wide, and Kia able to, well, he kind of cuts the grass there.
Yeah, he cuts the grass.
I don't think I'll pick up a warning for that, though. That was just, I think that was just 2 wheels. So Chipsy keeping that gap for now. He's got to be saving his energy. He's using mode 1 right now. I would go into mode 0. That's what Kia's doing. So yeah, Chipsy, though, maintaining this lead now. We'll see for how long. And
we're seeing action in the hairpin. It's going to be Captain and MLG God fighting for that 6th position at the moment. MLG God finding himself in an excellent position as well in 7th. He's going to be happy with points if he can keep it. Critical doing a good job in 8th. 15 lap old mediums. I don't know if he has to pit anymore, though. He might have to. Not too sure.
And Sahil actually out of DRS, so does not have the pace to stick with these boys at the moment, as Chipsy gets a bit loose through turn 1. Kia all over the back of him, swerves to the inside there, almost makes contact with his rear, but is just pushing him through this corner. And so we'll see. I'm sure he'll be able to get past him here, as Chipsy is just a sitting duck without this DRS. Kia opens the DRS. Chipsy defending to the inside, but I think it's going to be too little too late, as Kia wants the inside still and loses a lot of ground on Chipsy by doing that, but I think he's going to be through and clear there as we go into the hairpin. Chipsy late on the brakes as usual, able to possibly get a switchback through the hairpin of turn 6, and now he's all over the back with the slipstream. He's saving energy. Very smart play from him. Sahil now 1.6 back, and wow, great job from Chipsy to conserve his energy. Beautiful move from Kia to go down the inside. I think he would have had it cleaner on the outside, but he chose to go to the inside, not take any chances. So good job from him. Chipsy now up to 50% energy. Kia down to 23%.
That is up to 7th place, so he's doing an excellent job regaining all those positions.
And captain in 5th in the Ferrari. Great race from him so far, with a nice gap a hearty gap in front of him and a pretty close gap behind him for MLG. Got in critical after that horrible red wing incident, up into 8th, but he's going to have to pit again, I would assume. Chipsy still within the DRS of Kia, but with 60% energy to Kia's 22%. I think Chipsy's got this lead back in the bag on this lap, but Kia, of course, you can stay behind and save energy and manage to very much still in this race. Hill falling back to 1.7 seconds as Chipsy opens up the DRS. He's still saving. He's keeping it in mode 1, making Kia, well, Kia's also in mode 1.
Critical
just cold psychopaths here.
Oh,
as we've got Kia, or Chipsy possibly looking for a move, but no, he thinks better of it. Yeah, he didn't really look for a move there, which is probably smart. He still just wants to save energy because crucially, what is he? I think he's, oh, my controller disconnected, sorry. He's up to 70% to Kia's 30%. Wow. And Sahil now actually back in the mix, 1.1 seconds off. And Sahil, yeah, with also great energy management. Chipsy up to 90. I think he's going to go for a move here, and I think he's going to make it stick. And we've got back of the field, Uwe looking for a move on Pfeiffer now with DRS as we go into turn 6. Uwe looking for the inside. Pfeiffer going to hold to the outside. Uwe's going to have to go later on the brakes, and he does. And I think he's got the move as Pfeiffer also goes deep into the corner, and Uwe on those fresh softs has got the move done. Now back up the field.
Might see Batman and Terry fight up soon, and Dad is also going to fight up the other Haas. So both Mercedes and Haas fighting.
And so Chipsy looked for a move, but he wants to keep the DRS in the next corner. I think Kia was kind of offering it to him, and Chipsy said, "No, thank you, sir. I'll take it." And so now they go through this corner, or sorry, is that the corner? I don't know. Into turn 6, anyways. Chipsy down the outside of Kia and way clean and way past, and now has 82% energy to boot.
Dad up into 6th. That is an excellent recovery by him. And Sahil now within a second of Kia's DRS. We might see a move here. I believe both Racing Points have a time penalty, if I'm not mistaken. I know Kia has one, but does Sahil? That could change a lot.
To be honest with you, I have no idea. As 6 laps remaining, as Chipsy, the leader at the moment, is about to cross the line.
Could you find out the penalties? Someone's asking for a recap here on the top 10.
Yep, I'm looking through it right now. Yeah, so we've got a 3-second for Kia, as we know. Chipsy's got 2 warnings, or maybe he picked up a penalty. Kia has 2 warnings. Chipsy, yeah, no.
Here goes an inside of the hairpin, but he will overshoot it, and I think that's going to allow Chipsy to get past him. Yes, he will. 5 laps left. Can Chipsy finally get his first win that he should have gotten last week?
So Kia has 6 seconds of penalties and 2 warnings. Chipsy has 2 warnings. Sahil only has 1 warning. So Sahil doing a phenomenal job. Kia not doing too hot on the penalties. Maybe that is why he's fighting with Chipsy, to bring Sahil back into it. So Chipsy just needs to keep stone cold and not get a penalty, otherwise that's going to hand the win right to Sahil.
Sahil sitting on 100 ERS, so he's ready for the attack whenever it's possible.
Yeah, and so Kia crucially further back from Chipsy than he's been all race, almost out of the DRS as Sahil gets really loose through turn 1 and picks up a 3-second time penalty.
Oh, that makes it big difference in this race.
And Kia out of DRS. Oh, nope, just back in it for the detection point, I think. We'll see here as he comes across. No, he doesn't! He's out of DRS!
Really, the thing...
Chipsy depleted all of his energy, but he has got the gap. Oh, for me, Kia does not have his rear wing open.
Yeah, it's weird the telemetry thing looked like it was open.
And we've got, so Chipsy now with a 1.3 second gap out of the DRS, but not too much energy left as there are 4 laps remaining in the German.
I think Dad is going to make a move here, and Captain Dad up into 5th place after having that terrible...
Captain Dad is teaching father the math, as only as my dad up into 5th position with 10 lap. Old Medium's definitely able to go to the end, but yeah, look at that. Captain able to fight back with a switchback, wheel to wheel here. Does he cut the grass again? No, he just lets only use my dad pass with releasing the throttle a little bit. So great job from both of them. Chipsy still out of the DRS of Kia, or keeping Kia out of the DRS of him. Well, at least he was. Now he's not.
And they have to get past that back marker, who could cause issues. They're actually getting out of the way. It's going to be Wally, so no, never mind about those issues. And actually, is he inside? No, he's right behind the...
Kia picks up another penalty! So if Kia's not careful, he's going to lose the position to Sin.
Yeah, that could be a possibility for sure. But I honestly think with 3 laps remaining, Chipsy has this in the bag. Let's hope we don't curse him now.
I don't think he has it in the bag because Kia's got way more energy and Sahil, well, yeah, right, with penalties, but it's not easy to lead a race. It's easier to be behind than it is to be in front when it comes to penalties.
For sure. And down the grid, Thierry find himself back into 8th, Wizard in 7th after spinning out in that first
and Terry
restart.
Looking for a move on Wizard. Wizard kind of defends in the middle of the track, and then Terry's going to take the outside there up turn 6. He's through and ahead, and I don't think Wizard's going to be able to fight it back even with his...
oh, they might tap
into the back of him actually goes Wizard as Terry gets really loose and double locks into the hairpin, and that's going to allow Wizard to get right back through.
Will Terry respawn coming into this turn? I think he
Looks
will.
Like he is going to, yeah. Wizard should have closed the door there, but left it open. Yeah, not great defending from him, but it was great defending into the hairpin, just not so great there. Left him more space than he really needed to. As now, Kia is 1.2 off, does not have the DRS. Of course, Sahil within his DRS. Terry picks up another 3-second penalty.
The gaps are forming. We're in the last 2 laps here at 3. And let's see, Terry still eyeing a move on Captain, trying to gain as much position as possible. He's going to go on the inside, and he will have it for now. Dad will be defending that 5th position for his life. He's done an excellent recovery. And let's see, can Sahil catch up to his teammate?
And so a recap of penalties. 9 seconds of penalties for Kia, 3 seconds for Sahil, no penalties for Chipsy. So Chipsy with a 1.3 second gap back to Kia, and Sahil with a 7/10 gap to his teammate now. Chipsy looking good for this win as long as he doesn't get a penalty. That will very much throw it into jeopardy.
Wally has gone off in Sector 3.
Of course, the only person able to challenge Chipsy for that victory, penalty-wise, is going to be Sahil, and he's still got his teammate in front of him. Yeah, as you said, Wooly off in Sector 3, goes off even more into the gravel, so he is going to be occupying last position, probably for the remainder of the race, as Terry eyeing a move on Only Use My Dad now.
Wizard right behind
close that gap.
Captain as well, as we're coming up to the finishing laps of this race. Captain,
yeah, on the penalty...
Captain defending.
Sorry, Only Use My Dad pulled over to the side of the racetrack. I think he's going to get disqualified, or he's going into the pits to retire. I think that's what he's doing as he goes into the pits.
You mean Wally?
Who did I say?
You said Dad. I'm like, huh?
Oh, whoopsies. Yeah, that's going to be a young my bad. As BMW Power tries to get past Madman, but goes off the track, and that's going to bring Critical back into it, as Critical now opens the DRS as they come across here, and he's going to have that move. Oh, sorry, BMW also has it. That I did not expect that, as, yeah, so now they're wheel-to-wheel. BMW on the inside here. Critical, though, further ahead, crucially. BMW goes way later on the brakes.
My God,
himself almost into the back of the Mercedes.
Yep.
And Critical able to get the power down a bit easier, but BMW, giving no quarter, is fighting back now, actually gaining on him as they go wheel-to-wheel. Critical bumps into him there as he cuts across the grass, and now BMW down the inside, goes off the track, able to keep it, though, pretty much in contention as he goes down the inside again and kind of smacks into Critical and almost loses it himself there. Kia almost back within DRS as Chipsy as we start the final lap, or they already did start the final lap as we come out of the back straight for the final time. Sahil within the DRS of his teammate. Kia not within the DRS of his teammate. Chipsy now coming into the hairpin of turn 6 for the last time in the German Grand Prix, looking very, very good for this win.
And we still have ongoing battles. Thierry
and so,
on the back of only Dad on the straight.
I think this goes without saying, but Chipsy up 7 positions to win his first race has got to be our driver of the day. Or at least he's mine.
He is definitely mine as well. We've been waiting for this win for a while, and he should have got it last week, but he finally gets it deserved on track this week.
So, as he rounds the final corner of turn 13 now, well, not the final corner, but the final corners of turn 13 now through 14 and 15 to 16 and 17. What should have been, what could have been in France is in Germany, and Chipsy is officially a race winner in Tier 2 of Apollo Racing Club. Kia takes second position but loses it to Sahil on penalties.
And we won't see Sim get
back.
past.
I don't think we'll be able to capitalize, as Terry did get past. Only used my dad at some point. I absolutely missed that. Amazing win from Chipsy.
Terry will go down, though.
Without a doubt.
Terry has a bunch of penalties. We might see him hit down even to 8th, I believe. As
No, able to keep that. Wizard might get both. He does. Wizard up in the 4th position, even past Sin.
Yeah, that is an excellent jump. That's going to be really good for him. He's going to get a bunch of points after that spin. He'll be happy about that for sure. And Dad picks up, into 8th. That's good for him. MLG got picking up that 1 point in 10.
As Critical loses the position to BMW, Chameleon, and possibly, no, definitely not Uwe. Pfeiffer was up in a brilliant position at one point, finds himself back down into 16th, and Rad going to be last place in 17th.
And that is the race in Hockenheim. What a race. We only had 1 safety car and 1 virtual safety car, but we had a bunch of action on track. Congratulations to Chipsy for taking up this race win. Well deserved by him.
Also, though, cannot be underscored. What a weekend for Racing Point. A 2-3. They've been struggling to get both cars, one because the other wasn't showing up, but both cars up and into a good points position, and this week they did that and then some. Both standing on the podium, second only to Chipsy, who did have a 3-second penalty. Okay, thank you, race director, for being the worst. I thought I saw 3 warnings, but I didn't see 3 seconds.
Maybe he picked it up later? I don't know. But Wizard with none, so that definitely boosted him up, and so did Madman with none. Excellent job by both of those drivers. And we'll be underway with the interviews in just a moment. Alrighty. We should definitely start with Chipsy. I want to get his real-time reaction here. Are you ready?
Absolutely. Bring him in.
Welcome, Mr. Race Winner.
I am not third. Can you believe it? I can't believe it.
That's incredible. Incredible job, man. Honestly.
That was some of the funnest racing I've had between Kia and Sahil, and
yeah, it was great to watch. You did an excellent job.
Thank you.
Yeah, you wow, 7 positions. Started 7th, finished 1st for your first win. Definitely what coulda, shoulda, woulda been in France was in Germany. So fantastic job there. And then, so at the end, when did you pick up your penalty? Was that towards the end or was that in the beginning of the race?
That was when I was trying to push to catch Sahil and Kia, who had the DRS and were pulled away from me. So I was trying really hard to stay within those two.
Yeah, so great job. And
Thank you.
so for the safety car, I don't think Sin pitted, did he?
He did. He came in right after me. He lost a few
okay.
seconds because of it. It was just perfect timing. Everything that was supposed to line up lined up perfectly.
Yeah. And then Terry, of course, binning it a few laps after the safety car went into the wall of turn 1.
I feel for him, but at the same time, I may have smiled when I saw him there.
I certainly did.
Yeah, this is a chance.
Yeah, he's driven fairly flawlessly this entire season up until this point. So
yeah, he's phenomenal. So it was fun. It was actually looking like I was in the 3rd place again, but then I don't know what happened between Sahil and Kia, but
they were battling very hard with each other. They definitely
they had a lot of contact, and then of course Kia had 9 seconds of penalties, but did not yield the position to Sahil to let him onto the back of you. Not that I think he would have caught you, I'm not sure, but yeah, you were doing a good job saving your energy and then using it to build the gap to DRS. Obviously, you know, for me when we're racing there, it's pretty that DRS is pretty crucial. Were you feeling like anytime they were within the DRS you were unsafe, or did you feel like you had a pretty good handle of it?
No, I felt like it could be any lap now where they were when they were in the DRS. So I was trying to save it where I could, and I was picking up a lot of time in the 3rd sector, I think. And yeah, so I don't know if Kia had wing damage or what, but it seemed like I was picking up more time in the 3rd sector.
Yeah. Well, great job. Congratulations on your first win.
Thank you. Man. Thank you. I appreciate it.
And let's celebrate by playing Sea of Thieves after. All right.
I'm down. I'll see you later.
Yep.
All right.
Thank you.
So I say we bring both Sahil and Kia in. So I'll take Sahil if you want to bring in Kia.
Yep. Here we go.
3, 2, 1. Yep.
What's up, guys? We're bringing you
all right,
both
hello, boys.
at the same time.
Oh boy.
Hi. So let me just start. Okay. After the safety car went in, we noticed there was some inter-team battling there, and I definitely thought, Kia, that you were going to stick behind with your penalties, but you did not, and you guys fought, and you had a lot of contact, it must be said, and allowed Chipsy to claw a 2-second gap back to you guys and pass you guys.
Yeah, so my rationale behind that decision was, at the time, my race engineer was encouraging me that I could still get time on Sahil, and also the rat bastard hit me on the way into the hairpin, and I was not about to see the position.
We did see him move over under braking and hit you.
Yeah.
So let me ask you now, with hindsight.
Am I going to report my teammate? Yeah.
Oh, okay. Under the at the end of the race there, when you guys were kind of DRS training, were there any thoughts for you to let Sahil pass and allow him to go after Chipsy, because you were kind of
so I said to my race engineer Tack, who Ferrari graciously lent me, and I said, and I owe him a lot for this 3rd place. I said to him, I'm gonna let Sahil by on the next straight, and then he said, go for the win, baby. So I went for the win, and I came 3rd.
Yeah,
and Sahil came 2nd. Which, you know what, it probably would have happened anyway. Chipsy's really, really quick on this track, and Sahil threw away some time with a costly penalty in the dying lap. So.
Yeah, crucially, actually, looking back, because Chipsy did have that penalty, we didn't realize he had it. I went through the race director and didn't see it, so I'm blind. But yeah, Sahil would have won that race had he not picked up that penalty there with like 3 laps to go.
Yeah. I was like doing really
well,
good.
Chipsy picked up that penalty in the same time span. I'm not sure which one came first.
Yeah, I mean,
Good to know.
I had only like 1 warning up until like the last 10 laps, and you know, everything just went wrong.
So let me ask you guys, for the safety car, did you guys double stack?
Yes, I had. Like, it wasn't bad. It was like a less than a second of the pit crew just standing there, and then they went to work. I was concerned, but I think we've seen that. You know, it's better to risk the double stack under safety car than to wait a lap and have the entire. I didn't want a Ruta. Rest in peace.
Or a Gore, yeah.
Or me.
That was unfortunate.
Yep.
Me.
Don't try to loop yourself into this one. Get out of here.
Well, I was there in Tier 1 last time.
I just want to. I do have to go in a minute, but I do just want to say I dedicate my 3rd place to Charlie Whiting. He was the real one.
I'm glad that cut out. I'm sure something very insensitive was just said, so I'm going to go ahead and move you out of here. You have a fine evening, good sir.
Am I?
Oh, okay.
so I don't know who else to...
yeah, there's really not much anyone else to talk to, really.
Yeah, so that concludes our interviews for round 7 of Tier 2.
Yep, thank you guys for watching. We will see you next time and next week. Goodbye.